Have you ever seen someone receive so much love and affection that they actually transform into a little monster? It sounds strange, doesn't it? Usually, we believe that love heals everything and makes life better. But today, I am going to narrate a story about a tiny, lonely creature who was given everything he ever dreamed of: a family, food, and endless care. Yet instead of being grateful, he became the biggest brat the house had ever seen. This story is a roller coaster of emotions. You will start by feeling sorry for him, then you will be absolutely furious at his actions. Trust me, you do not want to miss the ending, because the lesson he learns is something we all need to remember. Our story begins with a very small, pitiful kitten who was all alone in this big world. This little guy was quite unique. He had fluffy light blue fur and big pink whiskers that almost looked like a funny mustache. He had no mother, no father, nobody to call his own. He was found wandering and was brought into a large house, placed in the corner of a kitchen. There he sat, shivering, scared, and staring at a plate of milk that was bigger than his entire head. But this kitchen wasn't just any ordinary kitchen. In the opposite corner, there lived a mop and a broom. But wait, these weren't ordinary cleaning tools, they were alive. The mop, who was pink and had a very caring nature, saw the shivering kitten and felt her heart melt instantly. She whispered to the broom, "Look at that poor baby. He's so alone and frightened." The broom, a tall yellow fellow, nodded in agreement. They decided right then and there that they wouldn't just stand by and watch him suffer, they would adopt him. They wanted to be the loving family he never had. So the mop and the broom started taking care of him with all their hearts. They treated him like a little prince. If he wanted to play, they played tirelessly. If he was hungry, they fed him instantly. They poured every ounce of their love into this little blue kitten. However, there was an old, grumpy dustpan hanging on the wall who was watching all of this unfold. He was wise and warned them, "You guys are making a big mistake. You are loving him too much without any discipline. If you don't teach him right from wrong, this story is going to turn into a nightmare." But the mop and broom ignored the warning, thinking the dustpan was just being jealous. They kept spoiling the kitten. And as predicted, the dustpan was right. The kitten realized that no matter how naughty he was, nobody would scold him. One day, just for the thrill of it, the kitten jumped onto the table and kicked a full glass of milk over. Crash! The milk spilled everywhere, creating a huge mess. Instead of feeling sorry or scared, the kitten just laughed. He found destruction hilarious. Encouraged by the lack of consequences, he then jumped on a stack of important papers and tore them all to shreds, throwing confetti everywhere. The poor broom didn't say a word of complaint. He just sighed, wiped his sweaty forehead, and cleaned up the mess, while the kitten laughed at him. The kitten had evolved from a sweet baby into a total bully. The mop and broom were exhausted, but they still thought, "He's just a baby, he will learn." But then things went too far. In the living room, there was a beautiful fish bowl with colorful fish inside, which belonged to the house owner's little boy. One quiet afternoon, while everyone was sleeping, the kitten got a wicked idea. He climbed up to the fishbowl, not to eat the fish, but just to see something break. He pushed the bowl with his paw, and smash! It fell to the floor. The water spilled, the glass shattered, and the poor fish were gone forever. The loud noise woke everyone up. The little boy came running in, saw his favorite fish gone, and was heartbroken. He yelled at the kitten, "I will never forgive you," and ran away crying. That was the moment reality hit. The mop, the broom, and even the rope that hung nearby stared at the kitten in shock. The kitten was laughing, thinking he had done something funny again. But this time, nobody cleaned up for him. The rope said sternly, "If you want to fix him, you have to stop loving him for a while. Let him feel the pain of loneliness." For the next few days, the house was deadly silent for the kitten. He meowed for food, but the mop turned her face away. He wanted to play, but the broom stood still like a statue. He was completely invisible to them. He sat in the corner, just like the first day he arrived, but this time the isolation was his own fault. He finally realized that being a brat had cost him the only family he never had.
The loneliness became unbearable. The kitten walked over to the mop, lowered his head, and cried, genuine tears of regret. He didn't demand anything, he just apologized. He realized that love isn't about getting whatever you want, it's about respecting those who care for you. Seeing his true repentance, the mop finally hugged him. The kitten learned his lesson: never take your family for granted. So that's the touching story of the spoiled kitten. It teaches us that too much pampering can be harmful, and we must always respect the people who look after us. What would you have done if you were the mop? Would you have forgiven him so easily? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Guiding Glow English Tales for more amazing stories like this. See you in the next video!